Hello, my name's Petra McQueen and I am from the Writers' Company, and today we are going to be discussing character arcs. So what is a character arc? A character arc is when your character moves from one state of being to another. So what do I mean by state of being? Well, usually this is an emotion, so your character might move from sadness to happiness, from jealousy to acceptance. However, sometimes it might be a bodily state in which your character moves, for example, from drunk to sober. One of the most common movements is from innocence to experience, and this is sometimes called a bildungsroman. And over the page, we have examples of bildungsromans. So, for example, To Kill a Mockingbird, Gone with the Wind, The Catcher in the Rye, and the bottom slide should say 1,000 Splendid Suns. So why do writers need to have a character arc? Well, a change of state of being is a very human thing. We move through emotions minute by minute. We change our views, we experience things, and we learn. And our fiction should also mimic real life. Also, the change of state of being is the outcome of a character learning something about themselves or the world around them. So if we think about Elizabeth Bennett in Pride and Prejudice, she learns through a series of events and the emotions that they store not to be as proud. Sometimes characters don't move as much in terms of character arc. So James Bond, for example, never becomes a pacifist, but he does move from inaction to action. So why is it called an arc? Well, it's called an arc because it goes side by side with the story arc, which is something we'll talk about in another tutorial. In simple terms, the character starts off being in one state of being, innocence, for example, which you can see in the bottom corner, and climbs up the mountain as an innocent person, but learning things all the time. Something happens at the top of this mountain in which they can no longer return to innocence or whichever state of being you've chosen, and therefore go down the mountain until they reach their final state of being, which in this case is experience. So how can you create a character arc? Well, first, choose a state of being in which your character will start with and where you wish them to end. And when you look at that state of being you've chosen, what are the nuances? So, for example, if you've chosen hate to love, there are many nuances in there. There's indifference, dislike, revulsion, there's all sorts of things. So how can you bring those out in the story? The journey will not always be in a straight line or even in an arc. It may go up and down, it may change, they may return. It may be like a circle where they return. But by the end of the narrative, your character will have learned something about themselves. And create details and events which allow your character to experience these states of being. So, in conclusion, a character arc is when your character moves from one state of being to another. As they do so, they learn things about themselves and the world around them. The state of being changes are created by events in which the character finds themselves or in events which the character themselves instigates. Okay, that's all for now. Please like and subscribe, it means so much to us. And for information about our courses and workshops, please head over to the Writers' Company, which is www.thewriterscompany.co.uk. Thank you very much.